Hello and welcome to Adventures in Dolls, the United Federation of Doll Clubs YouTube channel. This program is on BJDs, Pidgin dolls. And honestly, I never heard of a Pidgin doll, so I did a little research. Apparently, they are made by Joshua David McKinney. He said, quote, "I'm very committed to the idea of dolls as art. Most people think of dolls only as toys, but a doll can be so much more." Unquote. Well, Joshua, I agree with you. Take a moment now to like and subscribe. And remember, if you subscribe, there's no fee involved. It just helps our ranking with YouTube and notifies you of our next video. So like and subscribe to our channel. Mr. Fred Patton, UFDC's Secretary Treasurer, will be presenting this program. We invite you to enjoy it.
Pidgin, the Artistry of Joshua McKinney. We begin with a little background of Joshua McKinney, the creator of the unique fashion doll known as Pidgin. Joshua started as a student of photography at the Parsons School of Design, which eventually led to a career in fashion illustration. He has worked for many famous clients, including Elizabeth Arden and Mariah Carey. McKinney is also a self-taught sculptor, which led him to create his first doll in 2012. The dolls of this period were of porcelain, but they evoked into a luxury fashion doll with an international fan base. Pidgin, the name for Joshua's dolls, originated during a bus ride he was taking to visit a friend. During the ride, Joshua noticed a girl traveling on the bus who had a pigeon on her hat. He quickly began sketching her portrait while thinking that Pidgin could be a cute name for a character. He started to wonder if Pidgin would be a city dweller. Maybe she'd be a whimsical girl, or was she perhaps a bit flighty? Sometime later, when Joshua began to create his first doll in 2012, he thought back to the sketch he did on that long ago bus ride of the girl with the pigeon on her hat. Could she be the inspiration for his doll? Yes, that was it. This character was the doll he eventually created in his mind, but she needed just the right name to convey her personality. He kept thinking of the pigeon on that hat. If he changed the spelling to Pidgin, which means a hybrid language which develops between people who speak different languages, he would be describing the doll he wanted to create. Once the name fell into place, Joshua began his career of doll artistry, and Pidgin was born. 100,000 social media followers later, Joshua declared that Pidgin is changing the perception of the fashion doll. She is not just a doll to dress and undress, but a muse to inspire and dream within. According to Joshua, he is very committed to the idea of a doll as an art. Most people think of a doll as only a toy, but a doll can be an object full of meaning, power, and beauty. Each doll is handcrafted and sculpted by Joshua. He is not a company, but an individual making the doll, painting the doll, styling, and photographing his creation. Let us look at these Pidgin dolls. Joshua has created 4 basic models of the Pidgin. First, his porcelain creation of 2012. This doll had a porcelain head and limbs. Within 2 years, a 16-inch Ryzen version arrived with Joshua's Pidgin now making her first appearance. After the beautiful Pidgin, Joshua decided to create Belle, another 16-inch version with a very different face, a sad-looking face, developed around the story of a dancer in New Orleans. The reason for the sadness is that poor Belle was left at the altar, just like the famous Miss Havisham. Josh's 4th creation ventured into a completely different direction with the sweet little Chibi. In 2019, Chibi was a large head on a small 12-inch body. What a little cutie. His final creation to date is a reduced version of the original 16-inch Pidgin, a petite 12-inch fashion introduced in 2020. The Pidgin doll falls under the guidelines of the ball-jointed doll, known as BJDs. They are made of resin, have removable parts, changeable eyes, and are wigged. Joshua did not create his doll from clay, but they were created with the high tech of the computer. As stated recently by Robert Tonner, a doll created on a computer has exact balance in all portions. The face is equal on both sides as a total mirror image. Unlike sculpted pieces where both halves of the face are not 100% the same, also by using three-dimensional computer, he is able to create one-of-a-kind dolls in different shapes by the adjustment of the program. Through this process, Joshua has created some full-figured pigeons that were commissioned works of art. The first pigeons were created in 5 colored hues. They range from light mocha in the upper left corner, Ocean in the black upper right corner, milk white lower left and lower right corners, cocoa lower center, and blue skin on the second photo. Let us look at how Joshua's dolls are 100% the same in each of his sculpted images, but by his creative painting, each doll takes on a different look. All of his dolls are one of a kind with their own look, completely different from any other in his collection. 3 ladies in white dresses. The skin tone on these ladies are 2 in light mocha and 1 in milk white. The facial paintings and hair are very different, creating an individual look for each doll. If these 3 ladies were in your collection, one would never know they started as the very same model. The second example is 2 heads in milk white. Same blue wigs, but once the painting was applied to their face, a different look was created in both dolls. Brows, eyeshadow, and lips completely transformed them into a different doll with their own special look. Our third example shows not only a drastic change with just the skin tone, but the added makeup reveals each doll to display differently when once again the same model is used for both of our dolls. Finally, in our comparison, we have a light mocha and a white milk face. Again, skin tones create two different dolls, but as closely as the painting is in the lips and the eyeliner, the striking difference occurs when the eyeshadow and brows and hair were put into place. We have studied how the same face structure could be changed by the skin tone and the painting of the face. Let us look now at the special production dolls Joshua created for fundraisers or small event doll souvenirs. We first see the ladies of the Savory Affair centerpieces, November 2019 for the Metro Doll Club. These dolls are the 2014 Pidgin face and the Belle face, although dressed similar at a distance. We see totally different examples of these ladies when we have a close-up of their faces. Finally, the grouping is displayed as the centerpiece for this fundraiser. Babette was used for a PWB event April 2019. Babette is a wonderful example of how Joshua was able to take his pigeon face and create a Parisian character. Here is the grouping of the dolls that were given at the event. Such a group of beauties. Our next group is a special creation designed to display at a decade of ladies from 1920 to 1970. Through the use of hats, hair, and clothing, Joshua brings this group to the life without dates or decades needed. Perhaps my favorite of all Joshua's creations is his Bom ladies. These ladies are high Rococo display of confectionery, the name suggesting bonbons. Aren't these ladies lovely in their pastel colors, Rococo-styled hair that remind me of cotton candy, and their stunning face paintings? I am only sorry that these beauties were created before I discovered the Pidgin fashion doll, or one of these ladies would be in my collection. McKinney not only has created special editions of dolls centering around a particular theme, he has also made pigeons as famous movie stars, receiving great reviews from his enthusiastic fans. Let's meet a few of these noted stars from Joshua's pigeon creations. Jean Harlow, the first sex symbol known as the blonde bombshell or the platinum blonde, one of MGM's greatest stars of the 1930s. Audrey Hepburn, beloved star of the 1950s and 60s, symbolizes sophistication and poise. She was a true fashion icon. Marilyn Monroe, the famous sex symbol of all times, dazzling movie audiences of the 50s and early 60s. Here is a pigeon depicting the main character from a tragic love story, The Red Shoes. Final doll in this lovely character is Damalza Podark from the PBS series Podark. We have studied Joshua's imaginative creations, which center on special editions and movie stars. But he also created one of the most exciting times in American history, the fabulous Roaring Twenties. Women cut their hair and raised their hemlines. Everyone seemed to be dancing crazy dances, and the old attitudes of acceptable behavior were swept aside as the flaming youth of the 20s declared that now anything goes. Joshua has created several examples of this fun decade with his dolls and their short dresses, feather boas, and hats. Get ready. Here comes these fabulous flappers. One of the highest forms of flattery is through a commissioned portrait work. Most leading people of the world have commissioned portraits of themselves through paintings or photography, or even statues. Joshua has taken portrait work to a new creative level with the Pidgin likeness, or individual style, showing examples of his dolls that were created, and then the people trying to create and become a likeness of the doll. Joshua has become a portrait painter using three-dimensional artwork in the form of a doll. I want to share a few of the creations that are housed in a dear friend's collection and my personal collection. Each of these examples of Joshua's work are very important to both of us. Loretta has taken a major step in her Pidgin collection by using a Parisian couture to create fashions for her dolls. These are wonderful creations by both Joshua and her designer in Paris. Fred has taken a completely different approach in dressing his pigeons. He has sought fashion creations for other dolls and turned his collection into a fashion statement of the 1950s with full dresses and sleek lines. Fred uses several fabulous gowns from the Jean doll outfits to create fashion statements for his dolls. Unlike Loretta's gowns, which are tailored to fit the doll, Fred has altered the Jean gowns to fit the pigeons since the body measurements are different. We have seen a number of dolls today in this program, which can be termed eye candy. As we near the end of the program, we have seen several examples of Joshua's work over the past 7 years, creating totally different ladies while using the same mold. Although at present Josh is not taking orders or creating new dolls, we can hope that he will soon be re-energized to design many more creations for our doll world in the near future. Whether you want a one-of-a-kind doll, a portrait doll, a doll totally out there and very imaginative, a dainty Cinderella or a Queen of the Ball, the Pidgin doll holds a completely different image for each person who adds one to their collection. Just as Joshua intended, the Pidgin doll is truly a creation that fits the meaning of the word pigeon, Pidgin, a hybrid language that develops between people who speak different languages. I would like to thank the following for their help in this program: Facebook groups Pidgin Dolls and Pidgin Doll Collectors and Fans, Loretta, Norrell, and Donnell Dennery. Sorry I was not able to be with you today for this program. If you have any questions or need additional information, please send me an email at ufdcrd7@ufdc.org.
Hello, Karen Allen here. We hope you enjoyed the program. Send us your comments and remember to like and subscribe below. Become a member of the United Federation of Dog Clubs today. Go to the website, fill out the membership form, and be sure to tell them Karen sent you.